Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of English 101 online. So I just wanted to kind of spend a few minutes walking you guys through the assignments for this week and what you've got going on just to help everybody stay on track. So this week our focus is on revising Essay 1. So this past week you had an outline and a draft of Essay 1 due. This week you've got one-on-one conferences with me. If you have not signed up for one, please do so as soon as possible. You'll have readings and a reading quiz for week 2, a discussion board, which will focus on specifically introductions and conclusions, which is what your readings are on this week. And then the Essay 1 final draft with your revisions is going to be due this weekend. So again, I know that this sounds like a lot to do, and for some of you it may be, but we are in a accelerated course, so just keep that in mind. And also these steps really build on each other. They'll help you do your final draft. So please do them in order. Take them seriously, but not too seriously, and make sure that your focus is really on revising that essay. So I wanted to do a little sort of focus on revision in this video. So I really like this quote from Marcia Jones that says, "Real writing happens during the revision stage. That's when words, sentences, ideas, style, and voice are carefully crafted together into a cohesive and expressive whole." So revision is really, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of your writing. It's what you will spend the majority of your college writing doing. It's one thing to, get your ideas down on paper, and then a lot of people will just be like, okay, I'm done, I'm going to turn that in, and that's it. And for some of you, if you can be successful that way, that's great. But for a lot of us, what we need is really a more distinct step of going through, rereading, reworking, relooking, and re-seeing our writing. I want you to think of revision as literally re-envisioning what you're looking at, not just fixing. You're not identifying problems, but what you're doing is making sure that everything fits and that it is a whole piece. So when you're revising Essay 1, and we'll discuss this in your one-on-one conference this week as well, but a few things to keep in mind, and this is what I'll be grading for when I grade your final draft. Check your essay first. What is your main point? Is it clear? Is it specific? And most of all, is it debatable? Are you saying something new about this concept that maybe I haven't thought before? Or are you just giving me the formal textbook definition of the concept you've chosen? Once you have that clear thesis, then go back to your body paragraphs. Do they refer back to your thesis? Do they work together? Or do they just sound like a list? If they sound more like a list, maybe you'll need to work on your transitions. If your strongest example is at the beginning and you think it should be better at the, closer to the end, see if you can move your writing around. I don't want you to look at your writing as static. It can move, it can change. Imagine you could just take scissors and cut your essay into pieces and then start moving them around. That's how you re-see your writing. Then, once you've got your thesis and your examples together, then go back and look at your introduction. Are you starting in an interesting way? Are you giving me that background on the concept, or are you just jumping into your argument? And if you do jump in, is it trappy? Most of you, I think, have, a tendency to maybe start off with your thesis, which to some people might make sense, but to your reader, it's going to sound like you're not giving enough build-up. Imagine your introduction as sort of the preview to the movie. It's just as important as what comes after. Then take a look at your conclusion. Are you summarizing well? Do you give some kind of final thought, something for your reader to think about? And if not, then you'll want to revisit that. Your reading this week, especially the you writing sections, go over this in detail. I really want you guys to pay attention to those different types of introductions and the different types of conclusions and how you can organize your thoughts. When you're working on this revising this week, I want to also point out that revising and editing have things in common, as you can see in this middle here. Both revising and editing are helping your reader read through and understand your writing as you go. It's definitely improving the quality of your writing. But revision is not about punctuation. It's not about correcting grammar. It's not about adding, indentions. That's editing. That comes, sort of near the end. Revising is about your ideas. reorganizing, changing wording, adding ideas, taking out examples, deleting certain things. That is at the heart of revision. So when you look at your first draft and your final draft, you should see two very different pieces of writing in front of you. And if you're doing your revision effectively, you will. So that's all I've got for your sort of intro to week 2. I'm really excited to meet you guys, and I look forward to our one-on-one conferences. So please show up to your conference via Teams, and I will see you there.